You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Captain Jack. I've already started my show over there on Instagram. Book Dog was over there. And hey, it's a Thursday night. You don't know jack about sports, because that's the name of the Thursday show. Alluded to a little bit of stuff in the intro if you're getting the YouTube feed. And people were saying, and I stress this again, and I'll probably put this on the banner. If you are watching on Facebook, again, if you're on Instagram, which is over here, the little my cell phone camera over there. If you're on Twitch, I can't see all the comments. I can't see all the Facebook comments. So definitely come on over to YouTube, because we are on the National Streaming Sports Network. Proud to say that. It is the You Don't Know Jack About Sports show. It is Thursday. And, you know, this would be a good time for somebody to like to wrap up that sponsorship. Hey, Tempur-Pedic. I just bought one of your mattresses. I had it delivered yesterday. And the sleep is wonderful. I actually have and my watch is being, what do you call it? It's one of those smart watches being juiced up, putting some more juice in it, and wonderful sleep. Hopefully, I can definitely say this. It should be the last bed I ever have in my life. Yeah. I know that's kind of morose. It's considered as like only like a 10-year warranty on them. Quite expensive, but very worth the price. The little odds and ends of, you got to buy these special sheets for it on the split top, because I got a split top. that's one of the inconveniences. But again, we are here. For those that I'm pointing to right there, you are on Instagram. You're watching me on Instagram. Again, we are on the J.J. Allen Levy page of Facebook. We are on the Captain Jack page. We are on the Captain Jack's Galleon page. We're on the Elite Superfans page, all on Facebook. Of course, you're watching on YouTube. We're on my Twitch channel, and we are on National Streaming Sports Network. It is Thursday, and obviously what are people talking about? Well, for those that are NFL aficionados, the combine's going on. I haven't seen any of it. So I've had other things that I've been having to do, but I'll have to take some looks at that. I do know that there's been some conjecture about the hey, Elite Bartending Photo Booth. Good to see you over there on Instagram. Come on over to YouTube if you can, because you're going to just get this version of the show just looking at me. But the combine's going on. And, you know, I think that the running backs were either today or they're upcoming. That's going to be a very important conjecture area. I think the Raiders are probably going to draft at least, they're going to draft at least one, if not two. Yeah, they're going to get a quarterback, but that remains to be who they get if they go up. I'm hoping they don't. Sacktown, good to see you there. Raider Mike over there on YouTube. Good to see you, brother. And 220 Living Life joined us on Instagram. Good to see you as well. Come on over to YouTube. Again, what else are you doing on a Thursday? I mean, I think I can't even remember what the name of this show is. Pardon me. I was watching, I guess it's Fox. What is it? The animal show or the animal controls? There we go. Animal control show. Oh, Matlock. Okay, yeah, I'm recording Matlock, so I will have that in the hopper for things to watch. I know Elsbeth's on later. I watch a lot of decent TV, but it's because there's not a lot of other things to do. I mean, I can look. Let's see here. I can look to see, are the Flyers playing tonight? I think they played last night. I'm not sure. I think they played last night. Actually, was it the NBA stuff is going on? I don't have the NBA channel. But let's see here. Flames at Lightning. Okay, put that on. That's the Flyers are on. I'll go up there. We'll start with that, Flames at Lightning, because we got – I mean, yeah, there's got to be things to watch. Currently, it is 2-0 Lightning. It is in the it's in the third period already. Okay, see what else is going on. Did I get lucky? No, looks like there are no Flyers tonight. So we're gonna be watching some Lightning, which is okay, because it is the sport. Kevin Clark, good to see you. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Eating dinner with some Ken. I've had a pizza or 3 in my time. You can tell. But I mean, it's already the Flyers game is on. What channel, brother? What channel? Is it on the NHL network? Let's see here. Go into that because I didn't see it. Okay, there's the scouting combine. Let's see. Road to NHL tonight. Is that it? Huh. I don't see. What channel is it on? Ken, please tell me the channel. I've got DirecTV, so you tell me, and I will put on that channel. Mike Machado. I like the idea of Stafford. How about? I like them both. The issue is what is it going to cost? I actually think that they being the Los Angeles Rams are going to get more for Cooper Kupp than they are for Matthew Stafford. That's me. I could be wrong, but we'll see. But yeah, I do like I know that the Raiders are going to have a veteran quarterback. They're going to have a veteran quarterback. Ken, can you tell me what channel the Flyers game is on? I can put on NHL Tonight, but I don't see it. Unless it's yeah, you tell me what channel and I will put it on. If it's something that you got, but I got oh, okay. Well, yeah, I got to put it back to the last channel because let's put it back to the Lightning at the Flames. Oh, ESPN Hulu. Ah, okay. ESPN Hulu. I'd have to. Oh my goodness, Ken, keep me advised. What's the score? I can do ESPN Hulu, but I'd have to push a couple buttons and get it up. Yeah, what's the score, Ken? And because I mean, I can do it, but it's a pain. I mean, I want to devote my somewhat full attention. I can say somewhat full attention to you guys out there. I can't find it here. I'd have to go to my Fire Stick, go to Hulu. I know I got Hulu. I just have to find it. Actually my TV is kind of blocked. There's some stuff on the love seat that's in front of my view of the TV because I'm trying to sell. I got a couch, a love seat in the other room, and a rocking recliner here in this room. And, just want to get rid of it because I have some new furniture coming in. So, you know how that is. I put it up on, was it Facebook sale or marketplace? Hopefully I'll get some takers. Because I if not, then it's going to be a very wonderful donation to Salvation Army. But I'd rather get the money. But I'll take a charity bump if I can. Matt Marinovich, good to see you, brother. It's like I said, it can't be an official show until Matt Marinovich joins. And Furpos comes in and says Raiders. Lori Miller is over there on Instagram. Thank you, Lori. Again, you're going to get this view of the show because the other view, well, actually, it's pretty similar on the other view. Just if and when I get guests, you're not going to be able to see them. You might be able to hear them though. To catch up, okay, 4-2 Flyers in the second period. Cool. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. Ken's going to be my moderator on the score. I actually, when Chris Lentz is around, he usually tells me what the Flyer score is. Not sure where Chris is. But thank you, Kenneth, for doing that. Kenneth is my friend that lives up in northern Florida, Palatka, if I'm not mistaken. Palatka, if I'm not mistaken, where Ken's from. But while we are here, who is going to be the quarterback? Because again, and I'll show what Matt says. Matt is that kind of partial to quarterbacks, being that he's a Marinovich. And it looks like Stafford is on. It all depends upon the price. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this and that. Hopefully get some, get down to one get down to one view, which would hopefully make the hopefully there should be any lag in the computer tonight. But Stafford is a go from Mike Machado, aka Captain, the other captain. Matt Marinovich, are you positive with that, Matt? I am. I mean, it's got to be somebody that's worthwhile. I mean, I would much rather have Matthew Stafford than Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers was actually ever fully or even considered. Really? Why? No. Because there's going to be somebody. And here with the quarterbacks, they said, well, the Saints are going to have to get rid of Carr. The Sam Darnold is going to be signed by somebody. The trade could be for Geno Smith, and Carr is one of those trade things as well. You got Stafford. You got Aaron Rodgers that is definitely being cut by the Jets. So there's a lot of quarterback play. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are other names out there. But I don't know. But of all those quarterbacks mentioned, I prefer Stafford over pretty much everybody else. I mean, the other ones, give me Stafford, give me a Geno Smith in a trade, get me Carr if he's cut. Stafford is a viable option for at least 2 years based on his play from last year. Remember, the Rams were a couple plays away from going to the NFC Championship game. The Rams gave the Eagles a great game, and the Commanders ousted the Lions. And I agree with Matt Marinovich. Stafford's most sure thing right out there. Yeah. And Captain Raider is saying, would you take Carr if the Saints pay his salary? But if the Saints are going to pay his salary, you're talking about the full salary? Why would they? If they're going to pay his full salary, then why not keep him? I'm sure you're talking about like maybe a partial of his salary. But the Saints are going to have to get rid of him salary-wise. I know what you're saying. If they take a preponderance of that salary on their books and not on our books, yeah. It all depends upon what Chip Kelly wants. And I really think that this team, and again, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing, or I'm making a scientific wild-ass guess. I'm making a swag. I'm making a guess that the Raiders are going to be run like the great teams that have won in the past. When Sean Payton was with the Saints, and it made sense. That's probably why I said that. When Sean Payton was with the Saints, he ran the offense and Williams ran the defense, and they won. When the Bears won, it's because Ditka ran the offense and Buddy Ryan ran the defense. And it was funny that when the Oilers were winning, and Gilbride ran the offense and Buddy was running the defense, and they had that that friction, but it was like two different teams molded together. And I think that the Raiders are probably, excuse me, God, I mean, it's clockwork. I always fucking yawn within the first half an hour. Must be must be the lighting. I guess I need better lighting, or just I'm comfortable. But it's gonna be Pete being the overall dude. But he's gonna let Chip Kelly run the offense. And they're gonna have to answer to Chip Kelly. And everybody answers to Pete, but there's gonna be that dichotomy of resources. So I really think it's probably going to be run like that. And, I think it could work. So what do you think? Because I think so as well. And Matt says what I'm saying. You're going to bring, if you do it, bring in Stafford, and then you're going to have to draft the heir apparent. And I'm hoping that the only quarterback that the Raiders would take in the first round would be Cam Ward if they trade up. I don't think they would trade up. But let's just say that for some damnable reason, Cam Ward slips to 6. I'm just saying that, because I'm not digging on Shedeur Sanders. If it happens, it happens, and I will eat crow if he becomes the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you got Matthew Stafford, you're not going to see Sanders for a little while anyway. Ken, thanks for the update. Flyers up 4-3. Who are they playing, Ken? Oh, they're playing Pittsburgh. Why isn't that on NHL center ice? I don't know why. It should be. Let me see here. Go to guide, because I got NHL center ice. I don't know why the fuck it's not on. Islanders or Sharks, Canadians. So I'm looking because they're playing the Pens tonight. It should be on fucking NHL center ice. That sucks. Why am I paying this money for a program? Kind of like and that's one reason why I'm glad that I'm not doing NFL Sunday Ticket anymore, because you would be like paying all this money and you're looking for your team, but the one time that you want to see your team, then it's on Prime Video or it's on the Prudential channel, and you don't pay for it, but you're paying for the NFL Sunday Ticket. You want to see your team, and thank you, Ken, for letting me know that, because it's on Hulu, ESPN. Well, I'm fucking paying for NHL center ice. Why the fuck isn't my Flyers on that channel? But thank you for that, Ken. I appreciate it. Ken is being my my Chris Lentz tonight, telling me what the Flyer score is. And welcome to the show, two gentlemen from the Sacramento area. Let's first bring in and say hello to Ed Winchell. Studman. It's only because I'm wearing the Harlem Globetrotters jersey. I want to do something different. So I said, I'll wear my Globetrotters jerseys. And the other gentleman from the Sacramento area, Jack Kenna. Jack, how are you doing tonight, sir? I take it that you were on because I saw that it was on my channel today, because it got a YouTube I can't monetize it strike, was Wild Wild West. Jack Kenna normally does the Raider view on this channel for the Wild Wild West. So good to see everybody. But I know that they were talking about NFL free agency. So be sure to watch Wild Wild West here on my channel. Oh, it says, it's upcoming flyers. I just saw flyers in the corner of my eyes. So it's not there. And Jack, when I know where I'm going to be in Sacramento, we'll let you know, brother. Ed Winchell's going to get back to me sometime. But he's got to go. He's got some things he's got to go through, and we'll figure that out as well. But again, you're watching. You don't know jack about sports, and I don't know jack about why the Flyers ain't on NHL Center ice tonight. But I am happy to say that I'm going to be going to 3 baseball games within a week. Third yawn, not good. Apologies. Saturday, I go see the Phillies in Lakeland playing the Tigers. Sunday, I go to Clearwater to watch the Phillies play at home against, I don't even remember who they're playing. And then next Friday night, I go to Lakeland again to see the Tigers play the Orioles. I think maybe the Phillies are playing the Orioles. I might see the Orioles twice. I'll see the Tigers twice. And so Phillies twice, Tigers twice. And, yeah, I guess it'll be, a bunch of that. Yeah, Ken, I will. Okay. And then Jimmy Farrell, thank you. Raider Eeyore is in the house. By the way, Jimmy Farrell, you got to, if you're going to be a persona, other than you could be like Kevin Costner and be the postman and wear your Raider gear, but have the Kevin Costner. I'm good for ideas on this, right? I'm the one that gave when Gotti Raider was going to be godmother. I said, hey, why don't you do this? I swear I am going to take credit for that because she actually did that, and she got a godmother costume. And with the Raider accents, and she was the godmother. But yeah, you could get like a postman outfit like you have, but like rip the sleeves off, kind of like what Costner did at the very end. And when he was the Army of the Eight, and you can like instead like the Army of the Eight, you put like something, you get a fake brand with an 8, with the 8 circle, but you can be Raider postman if you don't want to be Raider Eeyore. Raider Yogi, good to see you over there on Instagram. We're having the show here. I got my Instagram right here. Van City's asking if we're getting Matthew Stafford. It looks that way, Van. It does look that way. So how I dig that. I would dig Matthew Stafford. And Ed Winchell combine was so boring. I haven't seen it yet. I'll take your word for it. I can make my Pitt helmet a Raiders helmet. Is that like a pith, like the African pith helmet? I don't know. You're gonna have to explain that one, Jimmy Farrell. Should I have been at the Daytona 500? No, I was doing a show, Ken. In fact, and people were there. Was that last Sunday? I thought that was already done, but they had so much rain at Daytona, it lasted again and again. Oh yeah, okay. So the postmen have like the pith helmets. Yeah, you can get an extra one or whatever, or you can make it Raider. But Jimmy, are you gonna? Yeah, it's what we wear in rain. But yeah, you can do that. Like because I was on the pith. So pith, I think it's Pithe. It's not pit. I know it's pith. But Yeah, check that out. Do you get a couple of them? Because you're going to need to get another one because you can't mess up your uniform. I know that Jimmy Farrell was talking about retirement sometime in the very recent past. And yeah, it has been a while since Van City came in. It has been a while. And Ken, if I get over to Daytona, I would like to go to Daytona because I know Ken likes racing. Robbins racing. I remember that. But I'd love to go to Daytona because I haven't been to a NASCAR race. And if you go to Daytona, that's the Mac Daddy, man. Got to go to Daytona. Pith helmet. Okay. I knew it. Yeah, so it was with it. So I guess it's without the E. Thanks, Matt. And you'll make one when you retire in 2 or so years. Okay. The Flames got an empty net, and the Lightning got another score. Is that point? Oh yeah, it's in Tampa. It's a bunch of yeah. They're wearing their home blue. And so you got the point. Oh, Hagel got the empty netter. Yeah, as soon as the Flame goaltender went off the ice, it was a long and yeah, quick. Yeah, I know, Van. I'm just watching the game here, brother. Angelo's in that chat. Good to see you, brother. Raider transplant. Where's Gord from? Gord who? I think if Mason Graham. Oh yeah, and people are talking about that kid. If Mason Graham is still there at 6, yeah, I could. Are you kidding me? If you have Mason Graham with Wilkins, with Crosby, with whoever else is at end, whether it's Malcolm Kuntz and I'd take a good another run at the kid that we picked up, Caleb on Chason. I'd get him in a minute. That'd be a hellacious defensive line. Seriously. Bobby Stewart's here. Good to see you. What's up? What's up to you as well, sir? Got a lot of old friends in the house tonight. Bobby, Van, Angelo, and then Van City is. I already hear it in the background. Oh, Canada, da 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 da. Anyway, it's a very nice song. It is. Lady DJ2 is over there on Instagram. Hello to you. I waved. Yeah, and yeah, Kennan's over there on Wild Wild West. And are you talking about Richie? The Broncos will have more Raiders fans. Yeah, we do. We definitely have more on that show than anybody else. I watched the Four Nations at the end, and I know Van City is Canadian, and he was very happy with that. I will say that I wanted America to win, but as long as it wasn't Sidney Crosby that scored that game winner, I was okay. Because I would have been totally livid had Sidney Crosby scored that goal. Now, didn't the Flyers play? Yeah, the Flyers played the Penguins a couple nights ago in Philly, I think, and won that game. So they're playing the Penguins in Pittsburgh this time, I think. Who else is here? Oh, Stewart's over. Mr. Stewart's over there on Instagram as well. Good to see you, brother. So yeah, I did watch the Four Nations tournament. What city is Richie from? He's not from Quebec. He's not from Quebec. He's from the middle somewhere. I don't remember. Yeah, Richie is Canadian. So yeah, I don't remember. And Jimmy Farrell saying we're not. So we got 30 cent asking a big. It's nice to have, but it's one of those things. It's I think it'd be a 2-year inconvenience. But if you get them, what I think they might do is they might sign them to a 3-year contract at 120, which makes it 40, 40, 40. And then you can null out the last portion of it. I think it's creative bookkeeping. Gord Peterson is in the same city as Richie. Okay. Oh, Van doesn't like Connor McDavid. Yeah, like I said, rather McDavid than Sidney. I was going to say I don't mind Connor McDavid over. I can't stand Sidney Crosby. If I give you a few minutes, will it help? No. I know there's Saskatchewan, there's Manitoba, there's those are the middle ones, I think. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Jimmy Farrell. I think we're going to do that anyway. We're going to get Jackson Dart or Will Howard. And I think of Howard, I always think of, like Curly, Shemp, and Mo, right? Oh, now they're fighting. Oh, my God, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. It's not Quebec because Richie doesn't do French. I think it's Manitoba or Saskatchewan. Could be Alberta, but it's one of those, Van. I know you're out west. Let me finish up some of my drink. I'm going to hopefully have some people on. And Van City says he's from, and Ontario. I was getting some stuff off of the couch I'm trying to sell, so I stacked it up on the chair in front of me. So now I gotta go like this. There's 6 seconds left in the third period. Lightning are up 3-0. But I don't remember. It could be Ontario. And yeah, that's the other big news of the day. That's the other big news of the day. I know Sunday. And yes, I will be watching the Oscars from this chair right here. Don't miss it. I appreciate it. You can go back on my channel. I do the Oscars, and I'm watching the Oscars, and we're watching sports, and we're talking about the movies, and we're talking about sports, and we're that's what it is on Oscar night. It's a lot of Oscars and movies and some sports by then. And maybe we'll know if Matthew Stafford is a Raider then. Oh, you're in BC. Yeah, I knew you were out west. See, I knew that because I know Vancouver is what Van City is for. But anyway, yeah, and I can't wait. Like I said, I got medical appointments tomorrow, and I'm getting my glasses tomorrow, or one new set of glasses, and then my newer retooled Maui Jim sunglasses with prescription tomorrow. Saturday, I'm going to spring training in Lakeland with the Phillies and Tigers. Sunday, it's Phillies, and I think the Orioles. So, if that works out, it might be 2 games of each team, or I'll see all three of those teams 2 times each, I think. Ken Clark tells me it's 4-4 now. Fuck. Ed Winchell is saying that he thinks okay, what's Jimmy Farrell saying? Let's see here. Where he says 2 football, 0 teams sold is 1. Oh, okay. They're saying that they're 2 football teams sold on Stafford. Is that what I'm reading out of that, Jimmy Farrell? I think that's what it is. That number 1, it would be San Francisco, and number 2 would be the Raiders. I'm thinking that's how you meant to say that. Yeah, Van, I've been to Canada like 1 time, and it was when I went to the Raiders Buffalo game in what was the year we went to the Super Bowl? 2000. God, it's been so long. 2003. The Raiders played Buffalo. Yeah, I think it was 2003. And I went to Buffalo for that game. And I remember I brought my Romanowski jersey, which I just bought, to have Bill sign it. And needless to say, he didn't fucking sign it. He was a twit. And I'm being kind by exchanging the vowels I for A. But he didn't sign it. But that year, we went across the border into Niagara Falls area of Canada. So technically, I have been to Canada 1 time. But I'd like to hang out there. I tell you this, Van, I ain't going up there in winter, brother. No. And my buddy, and if you were over there watching Facebook, my buddy that comes to a conference here once a year, he's my former roommate in Guantanamo. He was the guy that I did the football shows with the second year when I was in Guantanamo, the Pure Pigskin program. He was here for a couple days, and then he is moving up. Actually, today, right now as we speak, he's flying to North Dakota. I don't want to fly to fucking North Dakota in February. Are you fucking kidding me? It's cold. And it's not just cold, it's fucking Arctic cold. But yeah, I'd love to come up to Canada in the spring and the summer when it's nice and not frigid. Yeah, and it's come on, man. Who the hell wants to go to Canada? What did I have about the hockey fights? Yeah, and I'm sending you the highlights and this I appreciate. This I appreciate. Angelo knows me. I got a lot of shit going on, right? But I will watch that. He's going to do the highlights, that you would for all these fights, and I thank you, Angelo, for that. The highlights for the previous Super Bowl of fighting, which was last Saturday, I believe. I believe it was last Saturday when it was Max Crosby Day when I was in Vegas. And thank you for that, Angelo. But yeah, it is beautiful. Rams don't want to pay that much for a quarter, but we don't either. Oh yeah, Ed with the Trump joke. Our next fit. But and you can't do Canada as a state. It's too fucking big. You'd have to make each province an individual state. You might be able to get away with that. You ain't taking the whole country as one state. That'd be a fucking humongous state. Texas would get pissed off. because, well, Texas was pissed off when Alaska became a state because Alaska is a lot bigger than Texas. And then Alaska would get pissed off at Canada if they were the 51st state because they're like, dude, we've been the biggest state forever. What do you mean you have like a whole, like 1/3 of a continent that's one state? Yeah, I know it's funny, but it just wouldn't work. Oh, Jack says to text Gord to come in. Good. That'd be cool. Michelle McCool is going from the WWE Hall of Fame, and Gene. Yeah, I was going to say, blessings to Gene Hackman, man. Go to South Dakota and see my dad ship the USS South Dakota. They shipped the whole South Dakota, the battleship to South Dakota. Wow, that's cool. And Van City tells all of us Americans that didn't get that it was a hot exploit. It was basically a hot expletive. Canada ain't for sale. And Ed's been to Canada. Isles beat the Bruins 2-1. Oh, DZ had internet issues. Okay. Ferries are boring. British Columbia and Ontario are over are gorgeous. Okay. Oh, the ship was scrapped? Well, how could if they scrapped it, did they take it piecemeal? I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look it up. So I'm thinking that they cut it and they put it back together. I can see that. Angelo says nothing more than a fourth. Yeah, I think it's going to be a third. I think it's going to be a third. I don't think the Rams are going to budge for anything. Said it's got to be at least a third. And then we'd have to take over the contract. That's the other thing. And okay, so I'm thinking that. Thanks, Jimmy. And so what else? So, God, we've been on for an hour and I haven't really fucking said anything. Like, what else is new, right? Let me get if you want to come into the show, by the way, if you are watching over on Instagram, and John Chris 12 joined. Thank you, John. You're watching on Instagram. Come over to YouTube. Hit the link, come into the show. I'll show the YouTube link up here. Hit the link, come into the show. That's the link to get into StreamYard. Then you will be on YouTube. Again, if you're on Instagram, just come over to YouTube. Make it easier. And this way, you can actually see the links that I'm showing you. Kenna. Yeah, if the Raiders get Stafford, they would have the second best quarterback in the AFC West. Yeah, I think Stafford is better than fucking fuckboy over there in with the Chargers. Oh, so it's cost more? Jack Kenna, you need a quarterback. And he's not coming. He is going to come in the draft, but you needed somebody to teach him. So you're going to pay somehow. Let me put some more drink in here. We've been on for an hour. Hit the link. Hit the link. Well, I'm going to have to do it the hard way. Put this here. Open this up. Hopefully I don't spill anything. So this is, come on, get in there. Get in there. Milk it. There we go. So Kenna, who do you want as quarterback if you don't like Stafford? I like Stafford at a decent price. And Farrell wants I do not want Russell Wilson, Jimmy Farrell. No. You know why? You know why it's fun being a Raiders fan? Because when you saw that the Broncos made a mistake and signed Russell Wilson, you giggled your goony goo goo fucking ass off, right? Because they spent all that money on Russell Wilson. Spent all that money on Russell Wilson, and he fucking sucked. And then he goes to the Steelers. And he didn't fucking suck, but he wasn't that great. So then you want to have that guy who is going downhill, not steadily, but like in a fucking freight train elevator to hell, paraphrasing Bill Paxton in Aliens. No, I don't want Russell Wilson. I would rather have and again, Jimmy Farrell said, would you rather have Justin Fields? Yeah. I'd rather have Justin Fields. I'd rather, if you don't get Stafford, I'd take Stafford if the price is not too high. I would take Justin Fields because somebody's gonna be left out. Steelers might be the ones that get Darnold because there's going to be a lot of movement, man. There's going to be a lot of movement around. So anyway, I'm going to let Jack take that last smoke. Yeah, unknown. I agree with you, unknown. Not Wilson. Thank you. Unknown is over there, 559-899 over there on Instagram. Good to see you, brother. No to Russell Wilson. The late first round could get us a quality guard or a running back. Matt, are you talking about trading back up into the first round? I can see that. But I tell you, if you're trading up into the first round, they might be going after somebody like Jackson Dart because you might want to make sure you get him. I don't know what sort of collateral or what you would give for that pick. You're gonna have to give a pick and a player. Anyway, well, I'm gonna bring in my boy Jack Kenna, who's hey Jack, are you cold? You look like you're cold, brother.
It's really not that cold, but as a thin guy and having diabetes, the blood flow don't flow that well. So I just got a jacket on and stay warm. I'm outside. And, salute Raider Nation, salute Cap. So Matt Marinovich brought this up, last night. He's like swapping. No, his take was swapping the first round picks and getting Stafford. That's an interesting, proposal.
Yeah.
But there's a player out there. It's like, again, if we get Stafford, then I'm not even worried about a quarterback in round 1, round 2, maybe round 3, because we got 2 third-round draft picks. But, Matt, I saw your comment on the show last night, and thank you for doing that. It's got some people to think, and that is a possibility. But I kind of think, Stafford, like a lot of people are like saying, oh, it's only going to be a third-round pick. Well, Devontae was only a third-round pick. Is Stafford worth more than Devontae Adams? He's a quarterback. So, yes, he's going to cost you more than a third-round pick. And, this is one thing, you mentioned also, too, like my second quarterback before this whole Stafford thing, was Justin Fields. But if you do a Justin Fields, then you're going to want to draft higher on a quarterback. Yeah, Stafford's going to cost some money, but we also got a 74-year-old head coach who says we want to win now with this team. And I proposed this last night. I'm like, well, if we got a Stafford, now we got the second best quarterback in the AFC West. Now we're really competing. So I can't argue with with that. It's like and then the whole thing with Tom Brady and Stafford, oh, we just met up, was it Montana or Wyoming to go skiing, and we just happened to run into each other. Well, that's kind of the same thing. Yeah, well, that's a crock. That's like the same thing in 2021 with McVay meeting up in Mexico with Stafford. So, I mean, there's some writings on the wall with this, like, and, from another content creator, I heard like there's some pieces that are in place for the deal. And then it's about trade capital. So I think, when there's smoke, there's fire. And I think there's a lot more hot smoke. And again, Stafford could just be using us like Ben Johnson if he really wants to, because really the Rams are a better, option for him to stay there and just for them to pay him. And I don't even understand. I get what they said. They backloaded the contract. And now that backloading is coming up. But they got a lot of young. They hit on their draft picks. So they have the cap. And how much money was given on the cap this year? What, $20 million?
Dude, you tell me. I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the increase for?
Yeah, it's like for, just the cap increase. So they can use that cap money too, just like the way we can use that cap money. But as much as all the Raider fans that are in your channel right now and on all the other channels, we've been talking about this quarterback, that quarterback. There hasn't been a quarterback that can really change the dynamics of the Raiders like Stafford could this year.
Yeah.
So, yes, you're going to have to pay him. You know what? And he's worth it. And everyone's complaining, oh, he's going to be, when he's 36, he's going to be 37, I think, when the league starts, if I'm right. But, I mean, a lot of these good quarterbacks play in their 40s. And we're not looking for him to play 5 years. We're looking for the bridge, probably to match, our head coach. So 2 years, but maybe make the contract kind of like, Max's contract right now. We paid him for the years, but we extended it out there. So we still have control and there's no guaranteed money left, but extend it out. And you can make these first couple years even cheaper, but extend it out past when he's going to be here. And that's what the Rams have done. So I just can't even imagine, if you get a guy like that, it's going to change our division. I don't know, Nation. What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, it's like, I think this is a gift.
I agree with, and Farrell says, I don't know why the Rams would want to trade him. Unless they don't want to pay him, Jimmy, that could be the thing. If you don't want to pay the guy and it's funny because fucking Kroenke is a fucking billionaire, like fucking the ownership interest of the Donkeys, billionaires, right? He has the money. It's kind of like why doesn't the fucking VA pay me? They got the money. It's not their money. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed at that. But yeah, they have the money. And Jimmy Farrell, is he worth $50 million a year? If he's going to be able to make us a legitimate right now playoff team, yeah, he's worth that. Because
if you look at $50 million too, Cap, it's like he's like really between like the 9th highest and the 10th highest paid quarterback.
Right.
And guys, this is like a desert, right? There's nothing out there. Who's going to be your one guy that's going to say, oh, now I'm better. I'm the second best quarterback in the AFC West to compete for a division. There's not one guy out there that can really do that. And I'm not paying it Sam Darnold. And you know what? People talk about Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers, but is he a culture fit? I really don't feel like he's going to fit our culture. He's like Russell Wilson, his entourage and the baggage. It's like, that's what the whole thing about getting Pete Carroll is to reestablish that culture. So he's a guy I think, again, a lot of people say, I don't want to pay him. I don't mind paying him. I don't want mediocrity. And I don't want, I want the culture to be built. And he's the type of guy that will be in that type of culture. So even if we don't do anything, and he's gone in 2 years, well, at that point we're going to have a rookie quarterback anyways, or like a young player. I still feel we need to draft a quarterback, and it's going to be on rookie quarterback.
We are going to draft the quarterback, so it's not going to be in the first round. Thank God, because we're going to
that's a good thing, because you know what? Right, honestly,
we're going to have a quarterback that, and I really think, especially if we get Stafford, I think the likelihood of us drafting Will Howard increases exponentially.
I agree. And the reason why, and that's probably what, third round?
He already knows the system. He can play in the system. So it's not like so all you have to do is get the quickness, the mental quickness of playing in the NFL, because it is quicker. But he has the system down, and then he starts getting the NFL quickness down. He can come in his say second year, maybe not this year, maybe come in next year and start playing a bit. It wouldn't be, foreign to him. I think we can do that. And Jimmy Farrell, I'm telling you, plus we're giving up 2 number 2s. Here's the thing. Everybody was, okay, not everybody. I'm gonna say his name. Fucking Thanos. Stop fucking being a, keep your picks. We should have traded for Jaden Daniels. No, they weren't trading. They weren't giving up that pick for Jaden Daniels. But if you're going to get picks given away, you're getting a fucking quarterback that has won a Super Bowl and it's definitely, he's in the upper third of the league as far as what he can do for you. There's 30, let's say there's 30 teams, because there's really 32. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Yes. He's a top 10 quarterback right now.
I mean, and look at him. He's like 1 or 2 plays away from the Super Bowl, right? They almost beat the Eagles.
Yes. How you doing, Cool Kev? Come on over to YouTube, brother.
Hey, what's up, Kev? Hey, Way.
No, he's Kev's over there on Instagram. Raider Way's in here. Good to see you, brother. But yeah, I would take Stafford. I really would.
I don't mind paying him the $50 million, because you know what? I feel you can extend that out. You can extend that out and make it lower on your cap hit and just put it over some years. So, I mean, the whole thing, I do feel like kind of the Rams, and that's why I said I feel like, the Rams are trying to do like a Ben Johnson, did on us. I hope, he's not doing that on us as well, because they sent him out there, go establish your market. And then, you know what, come back to us, and then we'll see if we want to pay you or not.
This is the thought of the day. Thank you there, Raider Way. I'm going to show that. The VA needs to pay me so I have more cap money. I like that. They need to pay my
too.
cap.
That's kind of cool.
The salary cap needs to increase for the cap. I like that, Way. Thank you, brother.
So I want to ask every Raiders fan in this chat.
We'll see. But yeah,
everyone's got their different opinions.
There you go.
Okay, let's say the money is not a factor.
It's not.
It's not. Again, we can create that. That's why I'm saying it's not a factor. I've heard people all over the board of like, what you would be willing to give up. And I'm just curious because, I see a lot of you guys in other chats, what you would be giving up or what you'd be willing to give up. Like Angelo said, nothing more than a third. Well, again, Devontae Adams got a third. Is Stafford worth more than a third? Absolutely. He's a quarterback, and he's a good one. So what would you guys be willing to give up? Put it in the chat, and, let's talk about that. That'd be actually kind of fun.
I think that what we're saying is that if we put the Rams to the screws and keep the line in the sand. If Stafford wants to go, if Stafford says, I really want to go to the Raiders, so make it happen, and he forces the issue on the Rams to make it happen, and the Raiders say, we're giving you a third, that, you know, it's the heart, it's who bends. That's what I think it's being said.
I think you would have to eat some of that cap money from the Rams in order to like get him for a third.
Well, I mean, whatever works is, I mean, if of all the quarterbacks that are out there that and we spoke, and I'm not gonna pay credence to the content creator but I did agree with this. If you read all of the different things out there, the Raiders are either going to have Stafford or Fields or Wilson or Sam Darnold or Derek Carr or Geno Smith or Aaron Rodgers. Those are going to be our quarterbacks, right? And they're going to draft Sanders or Jackson Dart or, what is it? Will Howard or the kid from Louisville, because of all these sources.
Everyone's speculating.
No. Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their fucking opinion from their sources. How did you as well there, GK? And I agree with Raider Way, you know. Swap them ones because you're not giving up a one. What are the Rams pick? They're like what? Okay. That's a 20, right? They're picking in the 20s. I think they're picking in the 20s, right?
Yeah, they were close to the Super Bowl, so they're at the very back end of the draft.
Yeah, so if you swap ones, that's it. That's what, because that's a hellacious drop from 6. That's at least 15 pops. Swap ones. You want to do that? Here, we'll swap. We'll swap our one for your one.
And, Matt Marinovich, again, he said it last night. He said just straight up swap ones and make that trade. So, I mean, it was an interesting thought. Matt, I did think about that, dude, all day. It's like, that is interesting. I didn't think about that. I mean, I'll say what my trade proposal would be. I'm giving up a number 2. I'm giving up a number 4. I'm getting Stafford, and then we're getting back a number 5. Because again, anyone that tells me that you're going to just get a number 3, you're high. You're smoking some good stuff because Devontae got a number 3, and he's a quarterback, and he's more relevant right now than Devontae. So I don't see that happening unless the Raiders were going to eat cap from them, and then we can move back to a number 3. But it's going to take, I think, multiple picks.
Yeah, it's going to be. By the way, we are with Jack Kenna, the voice of the Raiders on the Wild Wild West show on this channel. I come on occasionally, and I'll be more than happy to come in again when there's something really to talk about. I know that you are within it now. You guys were talking imminent free agents.
Yeah, we haven't really actually. It's funny, we kind of get off track. We want to talk about the top
today
three free agents that we want to have, but the whole Stafford thing really threw me for a loop when that came out. I'm like, well, that changes my plan altogether because Stafford's going to cost you a lot of money. So the free agents that I thought about when we were talking, about Justin Fields at maybe $7 to $10 million a year. Okay, you have that extra $40 million to spend to get other guys. And then you look at Stafford and like, well, you got to change up what you want to do.
So that was your comment. It's like prior to the Stafford thing, it was like Justin Fields was your guy.
Well, again, there's no quarterbacks out there that I'm really happy with. And I was thinking, a person that would fit. Okay, let's say Stafford doesn't come, and I'll go back to this. I know Justin Fields, it's not the answer. and he's still going to be the fourth worst quarterback in the AFC West. But he fits what a chip will do. That RPO scheme. Because, I mean, really, this free agent quarterback class, either you're spending a lot of money for guys that are either prima donnas that can't bring the culture fit to what Pete Carroll wants and the Raiders want, or you're spending money on, like, a guy that's like a Sam Darnold who's going to get $40 million, and he's had one good season under a system that works great for him. He's been in the league for how many years? So nothing excites me. And then, the whole thing with the Raiders is they talk about whatever quarterback they get, right? Tom Brady wants them to sit for a year. The only person I think that is day one capable is Cam Ward. And Cam Ward's going to be gone within the first 2 picks. So are you going to start a Shedeur Sanders on day one?
No.
Or so it's like, I look at the possibilities of us competing. And that's why I got so hyped and so excited, because you get a veteran quarterback, probably a Hall of Famer in Stafford. He's got the mentality. He doesn't have the baggage of a Russell Wilson, no baggage of an Aaron Rodgers. He fits the culture. It's just a good fit. And again, that's why I said Fields is a good fit, because number one, he's an RPO. Number two, he'll be cheap, so you can build up around him. Please tell me what else you guys think is better than that. I mean, like, between those two.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you got to, that's why we're playing devil's advocate for, you're going to have to, there's going to be a fucking vet quarterback here. And no matter who it is, you're going to pay for him. It's a veteran quarterback you're going to pay for. And if I'm paying a lot of money, if I'm paying a lot of money for a veteran quarterback, I'll pay Matthew Stafford, not Sam Darnold. Fuck, the Flyers lost. Well, fuck the Penguins. It went to overtime anyway, so they got a point. Okay. They got a point, so I'll be happy with that. I can't stand the Penguins. The thing is, if you're going to pay a quarterback 40 and up, and let's go there, 40 and up, do you want to pay Sam Darnold 40, or you want to pay Matthew Stafford 50? I'll pay Matthew Stafford 50.
Me too.
It's $10 million. I mean, it's not that I don't have $10 million. Like, it's only $10 million. But yeah, it's $10 million.
But I mean, we actually have a year where we have cap. We have cap space. So and to get a guy who's going to wear a gold jacket one day to be on our team and give us a shot, and again, limited time, it just fits the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I also like the fact that if, let's say Stafford, say the Raiders do sign Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're right. And what you just said, Cap, we don't have to put the pressure on ourselves to draft a quarterback or have to trade up for a quarterback. Or even if Sanders were to fall at number 6, we don't have to get a stat or get a Sanders. I would love to see a Mason Graham on that defensive line.
And then want somebody a pick that's gonna play immediately and pay dividends.
Well, that's a Mason Graham. Yes. Mason Graham's comp, is Christian Wilkerson's. So I mean, we paid a whole lot of money for that guy. And his comp is Christian Wilkerson. And to have 2 Christian Wilkerson and a Max Crosby, and then maybe get have Chase on back, or maybe a Kuntz, if he doesn't cost too much, because again, you're cutting your money from Stafford.
It's going to be one of those guys. It's either going to be Kuntz or Caleb on Chason. It depends.
Well, it's going to be Chason, because he's only going to cost you about $5 million. So Chason's going to be there. Yeah, Farrell, I agree. James Farrell, I agree. On Sanders and get a Mason Graham, absolutely 100. But again, that changes if we don't get him.
Well, the other thing is that if it's not that kid, then you're talking about the cornerback from Michigan. You know, Carter will probably be gone, but I would have. But then now they're saying that Carter has needs to have foot surgery. Didn't we do that with fucking Tyree?
Tyree.
Yeah, I mean they're saying that he has to have foot surgery. So maybe he drops.
Ooh,
Maybe
the
he
Raider Nation. Here's a good question: if he does drop, and we've already done this with Tyree, drafting him at number 7 instead of Jalen Carter, would you want to go through that again? I mean, I watched him, playing Notre Dame, Penn State, Notre Dame, because I'm a Notre Dame fan. And he got 1.5 sacks in that game. And Notre Dame has a good offensive line. But I don't think I'd want to go through that again. Again, defensive end, defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, Tyree, Mason Graham, Penn State defensive end. I feel like that was a mistake. I want to go defensive tackle.
I mean, at that point, yeah, I would. And will Graham be there at 6? I don't know.
I don't know. The Jags might take him at 5. So
maybe you have to trade up 1 in front of the Jaguars to make sure you get him.
Well, if let's say the Raiders don't get Mason Graham, so this is kind of interesting. Jeff, Northeastern Raider. I mean, I'm surprised you guys you guys should probably meet up because you guys are both on the East Coast. But he keeps talking about, okay, if it's not Graham, trade back. And that's an interesting idea too. Because you know what? If let's say we can't get the guy we want, the wide receiver is kind of dropping right now. And, a cornerback would be great from Michigan. But if, let's say, we were able to trade back, 12, 13, 14, pick up a second rounder, then you can look at, different positions, add some more talent. The defensive line, out there is pretty deep too. And the other defensive tackle from Michigan, who's a nose tackle, and John Jenkins is getting old. There's 2 nose tackles I like in this draft. It's a kid from Michigan and a kid from Kentucky. They're both big boys. You know what? And John Jenkins is can be 36 years old, as a nose tackle. I don't see the Raiders re-signing him.
Yeah.
And who do we have to replace that? We got nothing. And I don't see anything in free agency. And tell me wrong, guys, if I'm wrong. Is there a nose tackle that you guys really like? A nose tackle. I'm not talking a 3 tech. I'm talking a nose tackle.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't profess to be the draft Nick. I'm not Angelo. I'm not Kenna. I'm not Jason Dean. I don't put my, all this time into, well, this guy did this and this. I don't do that. I don't. I watch what I watch, and I listen, and I evaluate based upon what I make my own choices, smart choices. But there are guys that do this. I know fucking Jason Dean is kind of like our version of the fucker we had as GM from ESPN. Or, Mel Kiper, guys. That's what they do. Okay. That's what they do. That's video viewers. Okay. Thank you there, Twitch. I don't know who that guy is, but thank you there. Something from I hope I know you're spam of some sort, but thank you for joining our show. The Twitch
Kenneth, I hope so, bro. I hope so. Because I look, Hunter's like an amazing athlete. All right, he's the best pure athlete probably in the draft. But is he really the best wide receiver or the best defensive back? So
no,
I mean,
I think he loses something because he's not the best at that position. He's above average, being the above average wide receiver who also plays defensive back, or he's the above average also plays wide receiver. He's not the best defensive back, and he's not the best wide receiver. If you're going to go the best wide receiver on the board, I think the kid's name is McMillan.
I think that's Arizona, 6'5", 210 pounds. But right now he's kind of dropping down into boards.
If you don't get him, the kid Bond from Texas is a fucking beast too.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's another wide receiver just after that from Ole Miss, and they're all tall, big, But I'm not going to spend my first round draft pick. I don't want to spend on McMillan. I'd rather have the cornerback from Michigan.
Yeah,
take him. But here's something fun for Raider fans. Like, who was the one player the Raiders drafted who had the capability, Hall of Fame defensive back, had the capability and actually got in like one or two plays as a wide receiver?
That was Woodson,
and I know most of you guys know whose name is, but may not know that he actually played wide receiver for like a play or so.
Yeah, that's Woodson.
It's Woodson. Yep.
Yeah, we actually used him on gadget plays occasionally. We stopped doing it after like the first or second season because we didn't want to fucking risk injury. But and I think we actually had him return punts the first year or two occasionally. I recall.
Right. Now you're stretching my memory there.
I think his rookie year, he actually was in on punt as a punt returner once or twice. And Jimmy Farrell said they have us taking McMillan in the mock. I mean, if that's it, great. But and it's Genty, by the way. And I take Genty. It's not Gentry. It's Jeanty, Genty.
Would you take him at number 6?
Yeah, I would take him at number 6. I would take Genty at number 6. I would.
And this is the reason why I was saying no to that, Cap. That's why I said a trade back is possible.
Well, okay, wait a second. That wasn't an option.
Okay. So I'm not taking Genty at number 6 because in the second round, you can get that kid from North Carolina. In the third round, you can probably draft both the Ohio State running backs.
Right. But here's the thing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But you're getting great and almost Genty. And if you want the Genty, you go draft the Genty. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I am more apt to go after the two. I get Scatterboo, or I would get, the kid from North Carolina, or I would get the two kids from Ohio, right?
Third rounders, except for North Carolina. The North Carolina running back will go round 2.
Yeah. Well, what? Scatterboo's not around?
In the third round, he'll be around. So the whole thing with the running back class is like you got two super good running backs in Genty and a kid from North Carolina, and then you have like 10 or 15 starting running backs that are after them. This is like the deepest draft almost ever for running backs. So you don't have to like burn such a low pick to get a running back to get good quality. And you know what? I want the Raiders to double dip. For sure, double dip at running back. If we're not going to get one in free agency, if we get Stafford for what we talked about, you're not going to get a running back in the free agent market because you got the kid from Pittsburgh, you got Jones, you got Chubb out there. So if you get a Stafford, you're not going to be touching those running backs at all. So you would need a double dip in this running back class. which it is deep. It is like one of the deepest running backs classes going. 2 stars, but a lot of starters behind them.
It depends upon, again, you're gonna have to pay to get Stafford. And Jimmy Farrell, you are correct. You might not have that second pick. But here's the other thing there, Jimmy Farrell. Depending upon who you get in the first round, if you trade back, you might get an extra second round pick. It all depends on what you do with that first round pick. Are we getting McMillan? Are you getting Genty? Are you getting the cornerback from Michigan? Are you getting the big Graham? Who are you taking? I'm not taking, and I like the guy who the kid who won the Heisman. If Al Davis was alive, he'd be the Raiders pick.
Right.
Hell, if Al Davis was alive,
no, you're right. Al Davis loves that height, weight, speed.
Yeah. Yeah, and he likes to collect Heismans. So if Al Davis was alive, it would be the kid who won the Heisman. And Ed, he might not be gone by 10, but I think he definitely would be gone by 12 because the Cowboys have this vision that they are going to that's their guy. I think that they're going to get their guy. Stoffels up here. Good to see you. Been a while.
Well, again, when you got an owner that's getting into senior years, we saw this at the end of Al's career. It's more about your heart, maybe selling some tickets, than really what's out there in a draft. I mean, again, if you got 2-star running backs that are out there, a dozen starters, you don't need to spend a high pick on a running back at number 6.
I agree. But it depends on what you want. You want Genty?
Well, then
or it depends.
Genty, like Barry Sanders. Is he the next Barry Sanders?
They're comping him to that, or they're making the comparison. Maybe not the next Barry Sanders, but he's Barry Sanders like. He's stop and go, turn on a dime, Emmitt Smith type. Strong, powerful, stop, go, run. I mean, honestly. Saquon is kind of like this version of that. Stop, go, can outrun you and outpower you, and with the moves, and that's why Saquon was as awesome as he did.
So, if you guys like Saquon Barkley, then look at the kid from North Carolina, because that's more of a comparison, because he's a lot bigger running back than a Barry Sanders or a Genty.
Mm-hmm.
His power. Got vision. So kind of like a JJ too. Like, again, all Raider Nation knows that was like one of our biggest mistakes.
Well, it wasn't our it wasn't our mistake. It was we wanted him. Man, we were like first winning team last year. Dude, are you in a fucking submarine right now? Is it me? You sound like the Bronger Bader Doders. Like there's a song like that. I can't remember who does it. Yeah, Jack is in his yellow submarine. Jack, I'm sorry, it's very bad. Yeah, is it me? Is it my Wi-Fi or is it Jack's? I don't know. I know I had that bad Wi-Fi issue. I don't think it's me this time. Yeah, it's Jack. Jack, thank you for popping in, man. Audio, yeah. Bando baby, stronger, but you unterglieben, lauten globen. Yeah. It's Jack's. Okay, thanks, Way, because I thought it was me. Come into the show. I put it in the thing. And Stoffel, yeah, if you're doing the refereeing and the coaching. I get you, brother. And thank you for being here. Yeah, Jimmy Farrell, fuck you. Can't understand you. Is it my Wi-Fi? Now you are okay. Okay. Yeah, Raider Way gets it. Thank you, Way. I'm surprised Farrell didn't pick up on that, the rock guy. We got a half an hour here. Okay, good. Matt says I'm good. So I'm good. Thank you, brother. So if you want to talk, and we were having a good discussion. We were having a good discussion, but come on into the show. It's not, I mean, what are we going to talk about? What is this? I'm looking, I was watching hockey. I don't know what the fuck this is. Flyers lost tonight, and thanks to, lost your connection. Okay, that's fine, Jack. And we appreciate you being here, brother, because we had a good, God, Jack was on for a long time, man. It was Jack's Wi-Fi. And thanks, Kenneth Clark, who kept me abreast of the Flyers Penguins score. Fuck the Penguins. But at least the Flyers got a point. So they ended up getting 3 points to the Penguins 2 points the last 2 games. They had a home and home, and they got 3 points. And go. And Stoffel, you did stop? Oh, okay. No, always a pleasure. Yeah. And we are gonna. I don't know about you. I don't know y'all. I hear Instagram. Y'all, YouTube. I'm watching the Oscars on Sunday. My show. You're gonna watch me watch the Oscars. You're going to watch me watch. We're going to talk, obviously, because I can't have the volume up. I might put on subtitles. I forget to do that. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Or put it on this one. Yeah, I keep forgetting it. Since I don't have sound here, I might have to put on the subtitle. We're going to do that. Oh, Dylan, and I want to see the Dylan movie. I want to see the Dylan movie. Can we make fun of them? Yes, you can. That's that. Hey, the one thing I like about when I do the show and I'm watching the Oscars and you guys are doing the show with me is you're telling me what the fuck's going on. But I'm going to have to put it on. I'm going to have to put on the. Fucking yawn shit. Sorry. But it's a Jack Fest. And yes, I'm gonna say it. It's a fucking libtard, fucktard event of the Hollywood liberal elite. Fuck them. Yeah, clap when you're told. Speaking of clap, a lot of them probably have had it recently. And Ken, I like Ken. Ken is Ken. You're gonna be my NASCAR bud. Ken, if we can, do they still do the Firecracker 400 at Daytona, buddy? If you get passes, let me know, Ken. Ken's up in Palatka, which is in northern Florida, somewhere between Gainesville and Jacksonville, if I remember. I think that's about where it is. Tell me, I might be wrong. Or maybe it's between the triangle between Gainesville, Daytona, and Jacksonville, somewhere in there. I don't remember. Yeah, and I got to see the Zeppelin doc too. But Ken, if you get some tickets, man, let me know. I'll come out. I'll have to, if it's because there it's on Sunday, I'll have to put on a rerun. But I do a NASCAR. I've never been to a NASCAR race. I want to go to Talladega one day. I want to go to the Atlanta Speedway. I want to go to Daytona. I want to see there's the Virginia. There's one of the Virginia ones. I want to see that too. Have I been to the Kennedy Space Center? Yes, I have, Jimmy Fair. I'm going to tell you how old I am. Well, you guys know I'm going to be 60 next month. I am so old that when I was a kid, the big thing that was going on with the Kennedy Space Center was when they had the Apollo-Soyuz mission. If you're young, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, look it up. It was when the Americans and the Russians, it was Russia at the time, it was before they dissolved the Soviet Union. Actually, it was the Soviet Union, it wasn't Russia. Had their detente of space, and they made a particular attaching device. So a Soyuz rocket and the Apollo area, because the Soyuz had it was like the little ball and the back end, which was the thrusting units, and the Apollo, where they had the command module with the service module, because that's what it was called, the service module. And they linked up, and they had the docking. Apollo Soyuz, I think it was I want to say it was 1976. I want to say it was 1976. And that's when I went over to Kennedy Space Center, because they had the big bicentennial, red, white, and blue star at the Kennedy Space Center. That's how old I am. Oh, you're 45 miles south of Jacksonville, close to Gainesville. Yeah, I was right. Thanks, Ken. Out near D-Land, because I know that's closer to. I've been to D-Land. I remember when I was young and riding around. We got lost in D-Land, Florida. You don't know where D-Land is? Well, that's the place where Jackie Robinson was called the N-word. I don't say that word. Out in D-Land, Florida. But yeah, D-Land is near where 95 and 4 meet. Have I ever tried doing the vertical view of the show instead of landscape? How? Vertical view is what I do on Instagram. Why would I do vertical view on a computer? I'm just asking. So Jimmy Fair, I've been in the Kennedy Space Center. Okay. Who's the yeah, I'm the winner. I hope, like I said, I haven't hit 60 yet. It's not a guarantee. I still have literally 30 days to go. You were out here on Bartow? Dude, you should have came over. Ken, check out, I'm in Valrico, which is 25 miles east of Tampa. It's almost, technically, right, almost near where I-4 meets I-75. That spot is about 15 minutes from me. I-4 and 75. You'll have to, Ken, send me your number. Maybe we'll go out and meet sometime. But Ken, if you get 2 tickets to a NASCAR event, I'd do that. But I don't get the vertical view landscape. Oh, the bucket list? Oh, okay. So in the Kennedy Space Center, my view, okay. How long ago was that? So let's call, that was 50 years ago. So the last time I was at the Kennedy Space Center was 50 years ago, plus or minus a year. So it's been a while. For the last portion of the show, and only because we can do 2 hours and not more.
Hey, no, Cap.
That, yeah.
I put up the question.
Yeah.
I put up the question for everybody who's listening on the Roku channel. This is Raider Transplant. Angelo, I've hosted this show a few times. So you guys.
Yes,
so
you have.
There's this thing that I've seen when I've hosted your show before where I'm like, I wonder, is there like a Roku channel reason why you haven't tried it? But the vertical version, which is what would show up better on Instagram, on people's phones and everything else, for whatever reason, Cap, gets you a hell of a lot more live views. And I don't know why. I don't know if that because of the way YouTube sends it, it ends up getting you like newer people. But that's why I asked, like, was there a specific Roku reason as to why you never went vertical?
I've gone vertical a few times, but I've had to ask the young lady's permission.
Okay. For the chat, if you didn't get
Never
that,
mind.
It was an innuendo, chat. It was an innuendo. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. It's probably a settings thing. I mean, I don't know. It's like in the viewpoint settings. I don't know.
No. When I was setting up for when I was hosting your show when you were in Kansas, I saw the feature because the feature says you could shoot at landscape or you could shoot it like portrait or vertical or whatever. And I thought about it, but then I didn't want to do it, and I knew you were at work, so I didn't want to bother you. But I've heard, yes, that's what I meant. Sorry, Matt. You know what I'm talking about, though, bro. This way, not this way. So there's 2 options. You could run it this way, like you're looking at your phone, you know, like you're looking at a phone.
Yeah.
Or
right. That's the way I'm on Instagram right now.
No, I know, because Instagram automatically does that, Cap. Well, but what I'm saying is,
right,
on YouTube, if you run it that way, for whatever reason, it ends up like just all of a sudden. I don't know why. I don't know why it gets like a ton of hits. Oh, that's an innuendo too.
Well, tell me how to fucking do it. I'm game. Yeah, I'd like a ton of fucking hits at this point. Or not. That'd be great. I'm all for it.
Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay. I can't change it midway, but on the I'll play with it, Cap.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, what you're not going on tomorrow, anyways, right? You're not doing a Friday show, right?
No.
Yeah. So I was thinking about going on tomorrow at a certain time. And just play around with.
Here comes the request.
No, I'm asking, Cap. You know, I'm asking. I never want to just jump on and do it. I said I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I tell you what. As long as, and I'm going to say this over the air.
Okay.
As long as I don't get anybody on going to be strikes against me or fucking hits of why the fuck did you have this video put on your show that you're not supposed to put on your show, and gets me a fuck you strike, because I already have I think that's the fuck you strike I still have on my show. When you open it up, it says there's a and it goes away eventually, but it hasn't gone away. I don't know. I don't know how long it hits you for, but it's still on my back office in the studio.
I only did it the one time, as you know, Cap. Never did it again after that because I didn't want to experiment anymore. So, that was that you. Yeah, and again, for you people on the chat who's doing innuendos, I tried it one time and it didn't take the way I thought it would.
I experimented when I was in college, is what she said. Is what she said.
That's no means
I've never
no.
experimented like that. No, I never experimented like that in college. I experimented with what it was the girls that were experimented. I was in on that, if you know what I'm saying. I like being on a two the other way, two gals and me. Okay.
The end of this show is going off the rails, chat. So if you want to jump on.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been off the rails, man.
That's funny.
But no, hey, and I tell you what, I'll put. I can't wait to March Madness. I'll bring it back to sports. It is going to be March, and by the way, my Gators are top 5, and I haven't seen a fucking Gator game all year. But I know that I knew that the last time I looked, they got beat by Georgia by at the very end. But they're still a top 5 team unless they dropped.
Yeah, I haven't caught up yet, but I will when it gets closer to the tournament. All I know is UNLV sucks really.
By the way, I'm looking forward for the abridged. What do you call the Cliff Notes? I'm waiting on the Cliff Notes that Angela's going to send me on the World Series of Super Bowl boxing event. I know that's a compendium of. I can't wait for the Cliff Notes.
Well, the highlights will be easier.
About what do we? Maybe 20 minutes.
It'll be like 3 minute videos. Cap. It's like 3 minutes. Here's a fight. 3 minutes. Here's a fight. And then you're just looking at the 3 minutes. The best part of the 3.
The best part, and there were 7 of them, right?
There were 7, but they're all like 3 minute videos.
Okay,
they're all.
We're talking 20 minutes, man. That's fucking awesome. I can do that. I can do 20 minutes. That's what my point was. Give me 20, 25 minutes, man. I'm there, Angelo. And I'll say, ooh, I saw the best 25 minutes of, and I'll give you an extra. Maybe you can go 3.5. So maybe it gets up to like 25 minutes. I'd even do a half an hour.
Okay. All right.
You lose me after a half.
Okay. No. All right. Then you'll be all inclusive in all sports, Cap. You'll know all sports.
I'm not in. Wait a second. There's fat words there, bruh. There's fat words. Ignorant. You call me ignorant. No, I would just be more intelligent on boxing.
Right.
Which is a great sport. But
it's
the thing.
I don't
need to be super intelligent on boxing. Why? Because that's what you're for.
Right. What I'll say, Cap, is that it is gonna. You'll see by the end of the year, it's gonna come all the way around. Especially when they do the Allegiant Stadium show, and that's during football season.
Yeah,
you're gonna see. You're gonna hear a lot of the NFL getting involved.
Which you're gonna check up on for me to see what I need to do to get my seats.
Oh yeah. I need to see how everything is still. It's weird, Cap, because as you know, like the combine just finally started today, so I watched that, right? But prior to that, everybody was just saying the same shit over and over again. And I'm like, look, man, there's only so much Raiders, guys, we can talk until some actual stuff happens. So I've been very heavy into just watching boxing because globally boxing is just amazing, right? So I've been caught up. In fact, just a quick boxing note for you guys who don't watch it in the chat, but just so that you understand how big it actually is, there was this press conference that happened today, and it's between Chris Eubanks Jr. and Connor Benn. And Cap, for someone of your age, in between X and Boomer, during the Generation X time, right? There was a very famous world renowned match by Nigel Benn and Connor Benn. It's one of like the Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks, which is like back in the 80s, and it was a big deal, and everybody got into it, right? It was huge.
I remember those names, but when you think, when I think Eubanks, I think of Bob Eubanks in the dating game.
Right. Of course. Right. But no.
If you don't know who Bob Eubanks, yeah, look up Bob Eubanks. And by the way, wasn't there was the one with Bachelor number one? What was that one?
No, that's the dating game.
Yeah, Bob Eubanks.
The dating game with Chuck Woolery.
Well, no, before Chuck Woolery, it was somebody else. It was the other guy.
That guy, then Chuck Woolery, and then one more person. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, but Bob Eubanks. And by the way, fucking Farrah Fawcett was on the dating game before she was famous.
I didn't know that. That's probably on YouTube.
If you don't know,
no, Farrah Fawcett. Everybody knows who Farrah Fawcett is. Cap. Of course,
there are a lot of people who don't know who Farrah Fawcett is.
Wow, I'm really getting old.
I mean, it's
you guys
sad.
Don't know who Farrah Fawcett is.
It's that if you don't know who Farrah Fawcett is, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, the talk show will be making. It will still. This is right. Ken Clark was talking about that. We're going to be making fun of the Oscars. I'm going to be watching the Oscars, but we're going to make fun of the Oscars here on Sunday night. Because, and by the way, I'm going to say it real quick. We only have about 6 minutes to go. Have you seen any of the movies? I haven't seen the Witch movie yet. I want to see Wicked. I do want to see Wicked.
I want to see it a long time ago.
Yeah, I want to see Wicked. I did see the Conclave. That was decent.
Oh,
I think Conclave is the Conclave it's a wow movie. You know, you're watching and you know something's up. So it's a good movie for those that like to see like the kind of like the surprise fuck you piece. And there's a couple of those in there, right? So I saw Conclave, and I want to see Wicked. I want to see the one about the I'm a singer. I'm from Minnesota. I can write, but I can't sing. Bob.
Talking about Bob Dylan's movie?
Whatever his fucking
Bob
name
Dylan
is.
movie?
Everybody must get some, you know. I want to see that because they said Chalamet was good in that. I want to see that. But I don't know of any other fucking movie that's I don't know. I don't know what the movies are. I want to see them though.
Sorry,
so we'll make fun of them.
Yeah, no, it was way too much Raiders for me last year, and I didn't get to really watch too many of those things. But I don't even know who's. I guess you're telling me already who's nominated for the Oscars because I didn't even know who's nominated. But
yeah, I know Chalamet. I know Chalamet was nominated. I know Ariana and Arrivo are nominated. Arrivo for Best Actress and Ariana for Best Supporting. So they're both nominated, right? So, but for different, because one's the lead and the other one's the support. Chalamet is up for Best Actor. And the movies are nominated for Best Picture. I don't know anything other than that.
Yeah,
and yes, folks, I like movies.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Did you ever get a chance? And I'm sorry, I'll say this and shut up. Did you ever get a chance to have Jared actually come in? Jared used to come in when we were taking phone calls, and Jared's my movie guy too. And I miss not having him come in. I miss not having him come in because of his fucking issues with Apple phones, man. Clayton, good to see you, brother.
Oh, okay. He's one of those people.
Yeah, he has Apple problems. Yeah, Clayton's here. Thank you, brother.
Nice.
Hey, how about that Bo Nix? I already said it for you, Clayton. You know, I took the bless you. I took the force out. So, but again, join us Sunday because we're going to be making fun of the Oscars while I watch the Oscars because I like to do that, and we'll talk. You know, whatever else we're doing. Maybe we'll figure out if Matthew Stafford is our. By the way, I got to ask you, Angelo, do you want Matthew Stafford as our quarterback? But you say no more than I think you're gonna.
Yeah, I put it on the chat.
I think you're
and then I talked about it on Sunday with you and Power Ranger and everybody. But my whole thing about Stafford is everybody's making it seem like he's worth so much. And I keep trying to explain because, as you know, Cap, I do all the different researches, especially when it gets closer to draft time and free agencies. But on over the cap, guys, if the Rams get stuck with Stafford, it's going to cost them like $59 million. So why are we sitting there going, oh, we'll give you whatever to get Stafford when literally he's worth a 4th rounder? I think if we give a 3rd rounder for Stafford, that's too much. And then I saw somebody on the chat, I think it was Matt Marinovich said, hey, why don't we swap first? I'm not swapping first to get Stafford. Hell no. I got the number 6 pick, man. No, because everybody keeps hating on Aiden O'Connell. Guys, trust me. Trey Smith has now been franchise tagged, so we can't get him anyways. But Mekhi Becton's up next. We pick up Mekhi Becton, and we protect the left side. Aiden O'Connell will be just fine. You know, he'll be just fine if he doesn't get sacked, guys. So to give up so much for someone who's, what is he, 37? 37-year-old Matthew Stafford, where we're going to have to pay him all that money too, and you're asking us to give up a 1st or a 2nd? Come on, Cap. What is this?
No.
I mean, are the Raiders, have we gotten so desperate we're willing to take it in the ass now, guys? What's going on?
Ooh, hey, I said I'd never experimented, Angelo. I was talking about such things. No. Okay. I told you I was with the chicks that were experimenting for their first time, and I helped them out. I told you that. Okay. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a 2.
Okay. Okay. Will the Rams at least take some of the money?
Hey, Ken, thank you for being here and letting me know about what's going on with my Flyers. And Ken, we'll have to do a NASCAR event. Get with me, brother. You should get with me on like Instagram so we can actually talk. But Kenneth Clark in Palatka, I do NASCAR with Kenneth, and I might even drink a beer. You know, because you got to drink beer when you go to NASCAR. I don't drink, but we do that. And Rafa, Sunday we're going to be making fun of the Oscars. So I'll be watching them. We'll talk sports while I watch the Oscars and have subtitles, so I don't miss anything. Edge, or I tell you what, I tell you what, Stoffel, let's get that big fucking tackle from Michigan if he's not gone. Famous last words. Oh, you don't do okay, Ken. Do you do Facebook? Try to find me, brother. Try to find me, Ken, and I'll send you my number.
Real quick, Cap, because you got to close it out. DZ, follow me on Instagram, man, so we could hook up. Reyes Boxing on Instagram. DZ.
Yeah, D said he'll get you squared away, guys. We're like about 30 seconds. Angelo, awesome. We'll do Chinese when you get out there again. For the rest of you, we'll see you Sunday for the show. Got to get out of here, guys. Take care. I'm gonna bounce, people. We'll see you.